Friday, and we went to dinner and lunch, and it was a nice event. We had fun. I didn't go to Saturday. We set up a hospitality room, and Walter, who's absent tonight, still probably getting over the hospitality room. We have a bunch of leftover stuff that we could sell to Rotarians, right?
Yeah, we got a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, there's wine and beer.
What do we need to sell?
Wine and beer, got good prices on that.
We can use that for our club night. Club night, sell it club
Yeah,
night.
yeah. The proposal for the board tonight, by the way, was because we're a little short of cash and we can make our own cash, is to have a few club nights, potlucks, and use some of that wine and beer maybe for that.
Good, sure.
Thanks to Dietrich. And Dietrich, by the way, my big takeaway from the conference: Dietrich can dance. Dietrich, I'm envious. Dietrich is a guy in our club, and I think you met him, or you may have met him. He's the district governor this year, and they had him up there dancing. We had
Tony had them up there.
We had Tony DeBlois, this fellow that does pianist stuff for us once in a while, and is really tremendous. And he really had it going on. It was really fun. Everyone seemed to have a good time, but I've never seen so many. The young people and the Germans did great. The Republicans, not so much. I've never seen so many Republicans dancing badly, and that's not a political statement. Let's see.
Well, so
Yep.
Saturday was, we gave Officer Dom his volunteer recognition certificate, which I have because he wasn't unable to attend.
Right.
And Saturday was dominated by Scituate club member sessions. We had.
Yeah, I was going to talk about all
Okay,
those.
okay.
Yeah, I'm going to talk about all that. Yeah. Because on Saturday we had writing on the wall, which I'll talk primarily to people that are guests or interact. Are they able to see this movie, JD? The Writing on the Wall, the Berlin Wall?
We're going to have it here
We're having it
in September.
24th, we've been invited.
Yeah, this is
High school, the library has a full set of all the movies. Okay.
This is a documentary about the Berlin Wall coming down in the late 89, right? And it's really good. It's really excellent. It's done by a guy he's from BC, right? Along with several others, and we funded part of that work, so we're very proud of that. And a big theme in Rotary is conflict resolution, and peace and conflict resolution, and this is a big part of it. There's another whole city pair activity that's going on that talks to how cities that have solved some of their problems go to other cities that are currently involved in heavy conflict. Like the Kosovo guys are going over to the north part of Ireland. They went, so it's very, very interesting work. Once again, there's a lot of areas to get involved with Rotary. This is one of the big themes of the international. The group study exchange at the conference was from Germany, and they were pretty fun people to be around. They really had a good time. They had a good time. We had Dr. Dennis Snyder from our club that talked about Medical Missions for Children's program. That's a program where he goes in with a team. He pretty much started here with some funding from us, but now he's got some pretty deep pockets. Goes around and does cleft palates and other things for young children in all these different countries, and it's been very successful over the years, and it all started here. We also had Dan Schmelzer, who's going to be here next week, who is in Kenya. He's been supported by us under a program called Capstone, where he's trying to take young boys off the street in Kenya and provide them some stability in their lives along with their family.
He'll also be speaking at the high school and to Interact.
He's going to be there next week. Yeah, he should be around next week. And then there was a lady named Patricia Quigley with Razia Jan's Ray of Hope Foundation. She's an Afghani lady that was here. She lived in Duxbury for a long time and was she is a Rotarian. And so she was there, so the person supporting Razia's program. But many thanks to Mike for putting together all those people. I appreciate that. So that, I think, I wasn't there on Saturday, but I think that there's probably not any feedback on Saturday. Do you ladies have anything about Ryla that you want to share with us? What did you do down there for, what was it, 3 days or how many days? Weekend, right?
3 days.
We didn't have anybody down there this year. Usually Bernie goes down there, but he couldn't go this year, so we're looking for a objective report.
So this year at Ryla,
Hey, why don't you go up front?
Yeah, she can.
So this year at Ryla, we and a group of high school students from this Rotary district went down, and at Ryla we start off by getting to know your families. You're put into families and you get to know them, and you learn about the people. They're all strangers, and you get to learn about them, and then as the weekend progresses, you really start to build bonds with your families, and you learn a lot about leadership and what it's like to be in charge of a group of people, and you also learn a lot about community service also. On the last day, we did a project called the WAPI Project, and for this project we made water pasteurizers in assembly lines for people in, I think they're going to South Africa, Zambia, so that they can save energy and fuel when they have to pasteurize their water, because a lot of people get really sick down there. And at Ryla, we were able to help a whole group of people. We did something very similar to that last year, where we packaged food for, what is it called? What was the program called?
Project Hunger?
Yeah, it's Hunger, yeah.
Yeah.
That's where it went
That was
eventually.
it.
Yeah.
And
We sent some money down there.
yeah, that was probably my favorite part, was the community service work, and it really opened your eyes to what you can do in the world and what Rotary can offer you, and it was a really amazing experience.
Thank you.
I'm
Thank you very
really
much.
grateful I was
Super.
able to.
Did you reach your goal of, in terms of quantity?
Yeah, I think we did.
6,000?
3,000.
So
Yeah, so
6,000
6,000 families were able to do
on
it.
water.
Someone was really discouraged yesterday at work. I work at Habitat. I do these ramps with a bunch of other old guys. We like to do them during the middle week, because all the people who work on the weekend are all working people. We don't want to deal with them. And this guy was very discouraged about all the news, and he just said, the news is all bad. It's just all bad. And the next morning, and he had kind of had me down a little bit, and then the next morning I get up, and there's this young lady, probably your age, who has invented for her friend, maybe a pen pal in Africa, a lamp that runs off the heat of your body. Can you imagine? Can you imagine that for allowing someone to read?
Yeah. Wow.
And she's done several of those things. So I think it's the age of invention. So I think that there's a lot of chance to be very positive about what's going on right now. So thank you for your report. I appreciate that. Water is very important. Yeah, for a while we thought the cheapest thing to do is just get those little nets, get those things too. Those are things that Rotarians got for sleeping to get, so people wouldn't get malaria. Let's see, Ryla, so community dinner, no. We got all the receipts in. Kelly Grant's good, we're good.
Lisa has some mail that needs.
Do we have some mail?
Let's see, I just, that one should be
Well, it's not really, it's to the club.
Okay.
I just wrote the check.
Yep, there's a, save the date, Monday, June 23rd, Marshville Country Club, There is going to be a benefit, the Kevin G. McGuire Memorial Golf Tournament. An afternoon of golf followed by cocktails, dinner, and auctions.
But it's for medical missions.
Oh, yeah, it's for medical missions for children.
Ah, okay.
Kevin G. McGuire Memorial Golf Tournament, and presumably the profits will go to the medical missions for children.
Can you put that in the notes?
Yes. it will.
Okay, because I have a bunch of other little ones here too.
It also looks like there's a thank you note from Sowing Seeds. Friends of Sowing Seeds, dear Scituate Rotarians, on behalf of Friends of Sowing Seeds, please accept our sincere gratitude for your very generous and continued support. Our fundraising is essential in keeping Sowing Seeds up and running and allows us to help so many families in need. Best from Kristen Dewey. That was nice.
Yeah, who's waiting to be doing the fireside chat. She's applied for membership. Kristen has.
For the Art Center.
And also the Art Center wants to thank the Rotary Club for the grant of, should I say how much?
The Art Center,
Yeah, $2,500.
I suppose, doesn't, no, don't say it.
For our ongoing educational outreach program.
Too late now.
For the 7th grade at Gates School. So for all your younger brothers and sisters or friends,
It
the
probably
benefit.
benefited not long ago.
Yeah, I'm sure you guys did.
And in addition to that, since Maureen hasn't given me the evil eye yet, tomorrow in Hingham, there's a lady named Emily Colson who's going to speak. I believe it's on autism, but apparently has a child that she's dealing with, and it's apparently she's a very good speaker. Has been on TV and very humorous and a very good presentation. Anybody interested in that, see me. I've got the flyer here. The South Shore, Kristen sent me this thing. South Shore Giving Circle has a blood drive for Children's Hospital at St. Anne's by the Sea tomorrow. So if you're into giving blood by the way, this club services both Marshfield and Scituate, and that's why you're hearing these Marshfield connections. I live in Marshfield, so I'm a little prone to pick them up. And there are several members that live in Marshfield. Let's see, June 20th, new governor installation in Warwick, Rhode Island. So we should put that in the notes. You should have a copy of my agenda that I'm writing to, and then you won't need to remember all of them. The 22nd, there's a Friendship Home Walk at Wampatuck. That's Wilma Goodhue.
That's Wampatuck State Park, too, I think, Wampatuck School.
Wampatuck State Park. You guys know about Friendship Home over in Norwell? It's been around a while, but it's a respite situation for people that are caring for those that are challenged, and a lot of the problems become really, really focused when people who need help turn 22. When they get to age 22, that's when the system stops taking care of them as well as they did in the past. So that's a big deal. If you have a chance to work with those people over there, Wilma's a real hoot. She's really a lot of fun to work with. There is a President's District event that JD and I will not be going to next week because that's a conflict with our meeting. But I've already told them that we're not going, so we're okay there. June 9th is a Monday for Hingham Hall Golf. They're running some kind of their annual tournament. I think it's $1.25 for each 18 hole. And then anybody going to Sydney? Just to let you people know what's going on here. Sydney, not Sydney, United States, Sydney, Australia, is where the big conference is. What, this summer, right?
June.
Yeah, I'm not going to Sydney, but our good friend Richard Cummings from Ulaanbaatar, Mongolia, she goes to everyone.
Well, that's
I'm going to
right.
try to have Valerie, our district governor, who is going, meet up with her over there. She's actually a good friend of the incoming Rotary International president, so
Okay.
wonderful if we should set up a connection.
Yeah. I sat next to Valerie's sister?
Harry.
Hmm?
Harry. Harry.
Yeah, but her sister?
Is it her sister?
Oh.
She was sitting at our table Friday, the photographer. You're looking at me kind of funny. You were there Friday, I was there Friday. The lady was sitting right there. The only Scituate, she's from Scituate, Rhode Island.
Rhode Island.
Yeah.
That wasn't Valerie Perry, though.
It was her sister.
Oh, I didn't understand that, sorry.
Yeah, her sister.
I missed that.
Well, it's good that you learned that today.
We get confused by Scituate, Rhode Island people who obviously,
They stole our name.
they emigrated from here, right? Because of religious persecution of some kind. Too much creed, too little deed.
Mr. President, I have something I'd like to announce as well.
In a minute, sir. I'll fit you in. Okay, so I think, where's our chat? Anybody go to Gates today? There was a talk about foreign study. You got a late invite.
Yeah, did not.
I didn't go there. We also have a foreign study program in Rotary, and you ladies should all be familiar with this. It's a super good deal. You could even go this year. People that are like sophomores or juniors are really, anybody 15 and a half to 18, and you do a 3-week home and home with another family. You spend 3 weeks with that family, and the other person spends 3 weeks with your family, and all you end up paying is for your airline ticket. In fact, in Marshfield, I got a guy that's willing to pay part of the airline ticket. I just don't have any candidates to go. And they're looking for people in Germany, France, and England. I mean, places you might like to go. And it's still open through May now. So if any of you know anyone that hasn't, that really would benefit by something like that and wants to go, this guy's looking for people that may not have the money. This guy's looking for people that might not have the funds to actually do this, the airline ticket even. But we had a young man from BC that Jamie knew, and he took this guy from Italy, right? Lobster fishing.
Spain.
Spain,
Yeah.
lobstering all the time. It wasn't, you don't need to do
Tuna
big
fishing.
big things.
Paramount tuna fish.
Yeah. So,
It's held in his memory forever.
yeah, please pay attention to that, because it's something that people might want to do. Okay, I can fit you in now.
Thank you, Mr. President. I
Yes.
just wanted to make sure everybody knows,
This is,
Saturday the 17th, which is this Saturday, from 1 to 8, if you have time in all of your busy schedules, the Sanctuary Church on Route 139 in Marshfield
Yeah.
is doing another Meals for the World packaging, which we've been involved in
yeah,
in the past, and you go, and I think the goal is like 60,000 meals this Saturday.
yeah, they'll be looking for money, but they'll look for people to do it
They'll
too.
want you to donate.
You can walk in there and help them put the meals together and pay whatever you can in
It's
a
a
bucket.
great thing.
That's a good
And,
thing.
1 o'clock to 1 o'clock till 8 p.m. So if you can go, it'll be fun.
That is good. I wait for when last 2 years ago, they had a deal where they made meals out of that.
Yeah.
The people around town, the restaurants did, and holy mackerel. Dietrich ate 3 meals, I think, that
That's our
night.
friend, that's our brother.
Dietrich and Walter and me, we went over there and just pigged out. We had a great time.
Like schnitzel.
Yeah, it was a lot like schnitzel. Okay, we're ready to eat. Guests are historically first, because what we're going to ask you to do is talk a little bit about Interact, so while we're eating, so you got to eat first. So those people that are guests here tonight, please feel free to go up into the buffet line.
Embrace the Interact group that has been started to gain some momentum over at the high school. I know that Meg, well, I should again introduce Meg, who's helping to spearhead this whole thing over there. And I know that we're going to have some comments from some interactors in a minute. I just wanted to, I thought we might review, and maybe I don't want to steal anybody's thunder, but from my perspective, we kind of got started with some conversations last July, maybe even, July or August. Then school started and it was chaos, as every school year starts. But we started to begin to recruit and bring in some interested parties that began to take hold of community service and interact and get familiar a little bit with what we were trying to talk to them about. The high school themselves, the Interact group brought together I guess I'm going to jump forward here, just sort of in a linear way. You helped pull together a presentation or a holiday party with Brockton Schools, right? And that was sort of aligned with our annual dinner with Cardinal Cushing, but the Interact group decided that they wanted to try to embrace another community, so they brought in some kids from Brockton School and had a Christmas party. They've been active in community. The Interact group has been active in our community dinners. They did their own giving tree campaign. I know everyone here, all the Rotarians know of our Christmas giving tree campaign, but they did their own at the high school, raised some money for that I went to diabetes. Did some other things like went to basketball games and sold concession stand information or products or whatever you were doing and raised a little money there. We've been trying to touch the community here. We've also been trying to touch the international aspect of Rotary. So a few weeks ago we had, for example, Interact from Weymouth that came over to the Scituate meeting and told the members that were in attendance about their involvement with Safe Passage down in Guatemala. I'm going to let everybody else talk about maybe other things, but in terms of international, but we also obviously have had some people go to RILA this past weekend. The club, I hope, is going to move forward in terms of doing things like establishing a Facebook account or establishing a website for Interact at the high school. But we've had a learning year, a growing year, with some accomplishment and some students that have dug in and made some things happen. So, with that having been said, we also, and maybe I'll call on Meg here because I just told her I was gonna. We've also, one of the things we've done in terms of the community is try to tie in Interact with the Council on Aging. And Lucille referenced it earlier, but maybe Meg, if you want to come up here and just tell us what you guys did today, because today we had something that had not happened before.
I'm actually going to let.
Okay. Yeah. You've already designated people that talk.
Yeah. So I guess we're going to start with Isabel, who is the president of Interact. And she'll tell you.
Okay, so last year I went to RILA for the first time. Thank you, everyone, for sending me. And I just had an awesome experience there, and I loved it. And so when I came back, Miss Giuliano talked to me about maybe starting an Interact club at the high school, and I was really interested in it. But we didn't want to start it when I was a junior because it was the end of the school year. So beginning of this school year, Miss Giuliano and I talked a lot, and we started to come up with ideas and get it out there that we were starting this new club. And we got a lot of members, which is impressive. And I wanted to do this club just because I like community service, and my experience at RILA opened my eyes to what Rotary does and what we can do at the high school to help the community. And when Miss Giuliano and I were talking about starting an Interact club, I went home and talked to my parents about it. And my dad actually told me he was the president of his Interact club at high school, so it's kind of in my blood to start an Interact club. But yeah, that's kind of how it started, Miss Giuliano and I.
How many are you
Mr.
now?
Miller. Every meeting varies, different people, but
15.
yeah.
12 to 12, I guess.
Yeah, 12. Which is good for starting the first year of a club.
Lindsay's just going to share a little bit about the project this year.
So you've touched a lot on what we've done so far. I kind of wanted to talk a little bit more about the Christmas party because that was really fun. So what we did was first we kind of had our ideas together and we met with everyone and we talked about it. So the party was in our cafeteria and we decorated the whole cafeteria like the Polar Express, and we all dressed up as elves, and we had little stations, like we had game stations and cookie making stations, and we had pizza delivered, and we had a bunch of snacks, and we had a DJ, and everyone was dancing, playing games. It was really fun. We had Santa come, and we all donated gifts so that all the kids could leave with a present, which was really nice. We also had the fundraising with the giving trees. That was pretty successful. Today we had some tech training at the high school in one of our computer labs, and we had seven senior citizens come, and we helped them out with like email and Facebook and some tech stuff. Yeah, that's it.
Oh, wow.
I just have to add to the computer class today. Not that I needed it, but I do. I'm quite challenged. I'm challenged. But, you know, I didn't know what to expect, but I said to JD, I'll go. You know, not that I needed the help, like I said. But anyway, it was wonderful. There were 7 people there. I was one of the 7. Lindsay was terrific, helping me. However, I wanted to tell this to Meg. When I left, I met some people that were in the class, and they raved about it. And they said, do you think they're going to do this again? It was a husband and wife. I know them from the town. There were also 2 other people I knew. So just the idea of going there with, you know, you could ask any questions. They'll help you. I think it's the seniors and the students. We just connected. We had a one-on-one, and it was great. So. And Meg was overseeing everything, right? So this was an idea that JD had and brought it to Meg, and it was this, oh, there you are. There's Leslie. So I just wanted to share that it was a great day today. Thank you very much.
Well done.
And Rita's just going to talk about next year.
Hi. So we have a lot of goals for next year. Our club is still growing, so we're going to try our hardest to improve on a lot of the stuff that we did last year. So we're planning on having a Christmas party again, or holiday party. We're also going to do the giving trees that you guys helped us out with this year. And we also, we did the senior tech help tonight, which we thought was just great, and talking to them, and they really, I think we want to do more interaction with the seniors in our town, just anything like with spring cleanups, or even play games with them, or just go and hang out with them for a little bit and do another tech night, and hopefully have more seniors come and more students help out as well. Also, while I was at RILA, I talked to a few other Interact members, and we came up with an idea to join together like on a project. So think of a big project to do for next year, like our big goal of the year with our side activities that we'll do, and work together with the 2 different towns and just have, you know, some accomplishment that, you know, we were going to do. Yeah.
So I just think we had a really great year starting Interact, and the students were I was so impressed by each and every one of you this year helping out. And we want to thank the Rotary, of course, for all your support, and especially Mr. Miller for listening as I'm panicking, or I don't know what to do, or I'm not a teacher, I can't handle all the kids in a room, or my short email messages when I'm busy, just saying, yep, nope, you know, no etiquette, just, but you're a great help, and we want to thank you very much.
Very good. We could all learn from each other, and as you saw, working today with elderly people, I'm always amazed what people know. And I was a pilot, so I always maintained you wouldn't keep track of your flying time unless it was important. So it is important to recognize that older people, although they may have difficulty communicating or maybe a little crotchety like me, that we have a lot of stuff. We have a lot of things that are in there, and you can really find out some fun stuff. So we appreciate all of you coming here tonight, really. And before we close, though, Joe wanted to say some things about Memorial Day.
Thank you, President Jack. What would make me happy, okay, is the Rotary Club and maybe Interact folks would join us on Memorial Day. In years past, we marched, or at least we were at the Common with our banner and all that sort of a thing. It's just a great opportunity to get a little exposure for our club. I'm also one of the speakers this year. I'm going to read the names of the fallen from last Memorial Day to this Memorial Day, and we're going to have the bell at Lawson Tower ring after each name. So it'll be very nice. I know the high school is going to be there as far as music goes. Obviously the Boy Scouts, the Girl Scouts, that sort of a thing. So for us to get involved again this year would be nice. They're stepping off from the town hall for the parade around 10 o'clock, I guess. There's also going to be at the Harbor Masters pier there. They're going to go out about 8 o'clock in the morning, out to the bell, and put a wreath for the folks that have died at sea. So it'll be a pretty nice day. Hopefully the weather will cooperate. It has cooperated every year that I was involved in Memorial Day ceremonies. So it would be nice if we also, as a group, took part in that. Thank you.
So what do you envision? Can you give us some ideas? I mean, you talked about, March before and had the banner there, but what would you like? Any ideas about what you want to have happen this year in particular, or just?
I just think the exposure alone. I mean, there's certainly room in the parade that we could walk. I mean, it's not a big deal to walk from the town hall to the Common. And the sides of the roads are full. I mean, there are a lot of people, which makes me feel good that people do take the time to remember, and that's so important in what our soldiers have given for our freedom. Again, if you have the time, it's a holiday. It's on Monday.
What's the exact date?
24th, 25th, 26th. Monday the 26th. Okay, so be there if you can. Thank you.
You want us to do the flags again?
The flags, okay, that's another thing. We were going to do, this Saturday, we got involved with the Boy Scouts in town, and we're going to go around to all the graveyards that have veterans sections, because Cudworth Inn is another graveyard not far from St. Mary's that's actually managed by the town. So the town, the DPW folks are taking care of the Cudworth graveyard and this other town graveyard, which is where the veterans are resting. But there are other graveyards scattered throughout the town that have approximately 500 veterans throughout the town that every year we place an American flag at their grave. Some of those graves date back to the Civil War. I mean, we're going way back. There's a graveyard on the other side of Scituate in the West End called Merritt, I believe, Merritt Cemetery. And there's quite a few old graves there. And again, we don't want to forget. I mean, doesn't matter how old that grave is, there should be a flag placed on that grave on Memorial Day. So we're going to see that happens. We had it scheduled for this Saturday, but the weather that's coming in looks pretty rough. It's going to be heavy rain on Saturday is what is predicted. So we put it off till next Saturday, the 24th. We're meeting at 9 o'clock at the high school, not the high school, at the town hall, and we're going to distribute the flags to the folks, and then they just go on their way. And in the afternoon, there's going to be a flag burning ceremony by the Boy Scouts, because you've got to properly dispose of the flags that they remove. And so that's what's going to happen on the 24th. So if you want to be part of that, you're welcome. Thanks, Jack.
Before we close, I guess as a Vietnam era veteran myself, things have changed for the better. People are remembering people that went to war. I have realized how stupid it is in the first place to go to war. We should try very hard not to do that, ever. But some of my friends didn't make it back. In fact, some of them didn't make it back 2 weeks after they went over there. But we were received back in this country in a very, very unwelcome way in the 70s. We weren't responsible for the war. We went. But in that period of time, and I'm saying this because you're too young to, this is the old man now. In the time that's passed, at least the warriors haven't been blamed for the politicians' errors and the diplomats' errors. And we've been able to remember, the guys and ladies who are fighting the wars for us over there, which is a very small percentage of the population. It's like 1%. But I'm glad I went. I'm glad I'm back. And I'm glad we're able to show respect to your son and to others. We've had a couple other deaths in the club tonight. People are honored, but these military people sometimes are forgotten. It seems like, and I'll get on my political stoop, it seems like the police officers and the firemen get a lot of attention, and there are a lot of these kids that are getting killed every day overseas that get nothing. So,
Jack, just to add a little aside, because I went to Scituate High School, and I don't know if Kathy remembers, but certainly in my sister's year, which was the year behind me, I know there were two young men, John Lazarovich and Joe Hunt, and they were best friends, and they went over, and I think they were killed literally within like 2 weeks of each other.
yeah,
But they're both at Cudworth Cemetery.
Yeah.
Opposite the Little Red Schoolhouse. So if you get a chance, stop by and just say hi to John and Joe. They were adorable boys. And yeah, then there were kids that were older than us too. But
Yeah.
So nobody from our year was actually killed.
Well.
So we were lucky. But and I know for a long time, the Little Vietnam Veteran Memorial on the Common
Right.
was sadly neglected
Mm.
for years, but I think now they do a pretty good job with it, don't they, Joe?
Oh, yeah.
I know last couple of years ago, we planted
Yeah.
Iranians there.
No, it's really turned around, and I have to thank all of you for paying attention to what's going on. But enough of that. Is there anybody else has anything else to say tonight? Anybody over here? Yes, Janet.
I would just remind the interactors, I think, maybe Meg and I talked to you, that we have the opportunity of getting a grant from the district. And if you guys can come up with a joint project with us or with other club or whatever, as long as you include us, we can ask for a grant from the district. And when they see us doing something with the Interact, they're going to say yes and give us the money. So you just have to create a project that you want to do, say this is how much money we need to do it, and tell them how you're going to raise that amount of money, because we have to spend the money up front, and then at the end of the year, they give us half of it back. So,
Or for that
but
matter-
That has to be in by June 30th, so there's a little pressure about the,
Yeah, that particular thing has to be in by June 30th, but if you need help on any of your projects, you should let us know. Because, you can give money, you can give time, you can give energy. You don't always, it doesn't always need to be money.
Even this party that you have with the kids from Brockton, like if you wanted to do that again next year, I mean, that could be something that we might be able to get in by June 30, if you just type up the party game that they did with the kids in Proctor, they want to do it again.
If you want to
Just
do
type
that
up.
again,
We had
absolutely.
grants
that paid for that. We went,
Who paid for it?
we went to the Shore organization. It's a part of the high school.
Yeah.
Grants out money.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you already have money for that, then
That's fine.
leave it, but
Well, I
unless
mean,
you
we
unless you
used
find out they won't give it to you.
That was from last year. We used it for last year's party.
Super.
Yeah, I mean, we'll definitely come up with something.
JD, you got anything? I ask you as the head of the ladies' table here. Okay. Do we have any more comments over Bernie? Any comments over there? By the end of, we're ready to drop this thing quick. Okay, unless I have some objection, we're out of here.
Nice meeting.
Thank you.